there was a ton of action, postseason action. Some regular seasons getting started for other Tar Heel teams. A lot happening. Get us up to date.
Starting over at Carmichael on Sunday, there sneakily was a really good women's basketball game. Carolina beats Davidson 74-70. Game was close.
I believe Matt Krause, the women's basketball play-by-play man on the Tar Heel Sports Network, tweeted Sunday.night.thriller after it was over.
I think that's an accurate description.
Yeah, that should tell you how intense it was.
Tar Heels put 4 in double figures. Deja Kelly had 18 points and 7 assists. Not a dog of a performance for her. Maria Gokdang, our friend and former pod guest.
Yep.
Huge with a couple late free throws after the Tar Heels were struggling at the free throw line.
Tar Heels got a little shaky at the free throw line, had some opportunities to stretch out the lead late, couldn't do it. Maria Gokdang said, I'll take care of it, guys.
Knocked down 2, and that took it to the eventual 4-point lead. Those were big shots. So good win for the Tar Heels. They beat the Wildcats 74-70. Carolina's 2-0.
By the way, Davidson had played the night before and beaten Wake Forest. So, and there's a whole reason why, and it doesn't matter why they ended up playing 2 days in a row.
Because they wanted to go to Dewey's.
Probably. Well, here's the twist on that. It was at home. They played Wake at home.
They stopped by Dewey's on the way.
Yeah. So, but they had just beaten an ACC team the night before, so they're obviously a good team capable of doing it, and credit to them for coming in. I think Carolina was up 13 or 15 in the game, and they came all the way back and had the lead in the last couple minutes, made some huge plays. I know they started the fourth quarter really hot, but Tar Heels, most importantly, got the win.
Carolina back on the court Wednesday, the rare 11 a.m. tip-off.
I believe this is like elementary school field trip kind of game. They're playing, is it Hampton?
Hampton.
Yeah, at 11 a.m. So I think that's right, where they're having some local school kids come in to be able to come watch the game. So that's why it's at 11 a.m.
That's a good idea. That also means if you're going to the game, be ready for squealing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Adjust your
There's
volume.
going to be some high – it's almost like you're watching The Golden Bachelor at Adam's house. That's how much squealing there's going to be.
Got a big week this week with Gary Jones.
By the way, Adam, couple things. Congratulations, Omari and Hampton, Noah Burnett named ACC Players of the Week at their respective positions. Sorry, Drake May. Sorry, buddy.
Maybe you can do something more.
Maybe you can play a little better, and we'll let you be ACC Quarterback of the Week, but not this week, my friend. Sorry, 3 total touchdowns, amazing plays, lead your team to a game-tying field goal when you get the ball with 41 seconds left, then scored the game-winning touchdown in double overtime and convert a 2-point play on a ridiculous play. One day, maybe you'll do enough.
Yeah. You can just go cry at Papa Shot Wednesdays.
Yeah, that's right. Go hang out with Corey Gaynor at Papa Shop Wednesdays. Hope you heard that interview and Adam making an absolute fool of himself during that interview.
Men's soccer didn't make a fool of themselves in the ACC tournament. Made it to the championship match, which I will officially record as a tie. 1-1 against Clemson.
That is how it's officially recorded.
That's what the scorebook says. Clemson did win in penalty kicks. Kenzie Erman had the Carolina goal. Clemson tied it up in the 83rd minute.
Yeah.
Anything after 80 shouldn't even count.
I tell you, I'm excited to see. I think you see it in basketball sometimes, and we've talked about this before, where you have like a great run in the conference tournament, but that's what you got, and then you end up losing early in the NCAAs. I hope Carolina can carry over that momentum because, I mean, I didn't see every second of every match that they played, but what I did see, they were playing well. Clemson's very good. That was a very competitive and really good game. I just hope Carolina can continue this momentum because it feels like they are playing really well right now.
They'll get a chance to do it with the number 3 overall seed.
Wow.
In the NCAA tournament. There was some talk that if Carolina won that, they might be the number 1 overall seed.
Really?
Instead, they'll have to settle for the number 3 overall seed, so not too shabby. Tar Heels will play the winner of Memphis and SIU Edwardsville.
Southern Illinois? I think that's right.
So the Carolina match will be Sunday at Dorrance Field. So Tar Heels got a chance to make some noise. As we know, if the Tar Heels score 2 goals, other teams in trouble.
Adam, I'm just going to tell you, cracker jack on you, sir, for being on top of that bracket because it hasn't been out very long, and you were all over it.
I'm actually on the selection committee.
Yeah.
That's how I knew they might be the number one overall.
You were all over it, dude.
This is only the third time in program history Carolina enters the NCAA tournament having not conceded more than 1 goal in a game.
Wow.
The other two, 2012, 2018. Cross country. Parker Wolf and the boys out dominating again. This time the Southeast Regional down in Spartanburg, South Carolina. 4 Tar Heels in the top 10. Parker Wolf finished second. The others, Alex Phillip, Ethan Strand, and Jake Gebhardt. That means they advanced to the NCAA championships. That's at Charlottesville on Saturday. The women's team finished 5th at regionals, so they do not advance as a team to the NCAA tournament, NCAA championship. It's not a tournament.
So do you know how many I don't know. Do you know how many teams do advance?
No.
Okay, so, I mean, do we think Tar Heels a legitimate chance to win this thing? I mean, they just won the ACCs. I mean, they're there. They just won the ACCs and won their regional.
And the regional wasn't particularly close.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, just like men's soccer, it feels like they're hitting their stride, Adam. They're kicking their way to the finish line here.
Why don't you ask Parker Wolf if he has a good kick?
Yeah, that's right. Parker Wolf's ready to fight me when I asked him if he had a good kick. He's like, pretty good in the ACC championship. Like, here's the mistake you made, Parker. You thought that I was asking that because you had been working on your kick and felt like it hadn't been good in the past. Really, I was just trying to impress you by the fact that I knew kick was a term in long-distance racing.
I was trying to use a running word.
Yeah. But they're kicking it to the NCAA championships. Let's go.
Okay. Get your field hockey vocabulary words ready because the Tar Heels are into the Final Four for the 14th time in the last 15 years. Can't have the Final Four without the Tar Heels. Carolina beat William and Mary 6-1. Tar Heels took 31 shots and outshot them 20-0 in the first half. There's a little gap. Peyton Worth had 2 goals, and then she was really good when Carolina beat Harvard on Sunday 4-2. Charlie Bruder scored twice, but Peyton Worth career high 4 assists. She assisted on every goal.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, Harvard had won something like 12 or 13 consecutive matches going into that, so they were playing really well. And it was a competitive game for a little bit. Carolina jumped out really early, but then Harvard answered, and then Carolina was up. Tar Heels answered pretty quickly after that to make it 2-1. I think it was 3-1. And so, I mean, they were leading most of the match, but Harvard a quality team, so a nice win. 3 of the 4 Final Four teams are ACC teams, right?
Carolina plays Virginia in the semifinals, and the other semifinal, Northwestern against Duke.
Yeah, so I mean, these are usual suspects within the world of field hockey. Carolina has faced Virginia twice this year. Virginia beat them in the regular season. Tar Heels beat Virginia in the ACC tournament. And Carolina's played Duke twice, won both, but both were very close. So, Northwestern is very good, is a very good program. I would say probably they're not as good as the Tar Heels, but they are within the probably, Adam, 3 or 4 best programs in field hockey right now, just in general, right? Like year to year success, I'm saying.
I think Carolina and Northwestern are
the best
the
too.
two best,
right,
yeah.
So really good teams. It'll be super competitive, but it's here in Chapel Hill, so should be fun.
Not in Chapel Hill as of now is women's soccer. Tar Heels got a win. They beat Towson 3-1 in the NCAA tournament first round. Goals from Bella Simber, Allie Sentnor, Avery Patterson. Tar Heels a little sluggish in the first half.
Well, I actually saw a lot of this, and you're exactly right. I thought the first, I'll say 30 to 35 minutes, I thought Towson was the aggressor and had the better of the play. And then Carolina was able to tie it up late in the first half, and then second half, Tar Heels, they look like what you would expect the Tar Heels to look like. They were impressive in the second half and really dominated a Towson team that had come to play for sure.
Carolina will have to play better on Friday. They're going to have to go to Lubbock, Texas to play Alabama.
Yeah, obviously.
Where you would typically play Alabama. Carolina and Alabama tied 1-1 in Tuscaloosa earlier this year. Alabama's the 6th seed. Carolina now 24-1 in the NCAA tournament first round games, and in those games they've outscored opponents 102-6.
Pretty good.
So I think you give Towson even more credit that they came in and didn't seem afraid.
Yeah,
it was their first ever NCAA appearance.
Very physical match. Carolina, Alabama in the regular season. So we'll see if cooler heads prevail on the pitch coming up.
And it was pretty physical with Towson. There was a little – I think that might be the book on the Tar Heels. Wrestling wanted to mention that they won 2 matches at Wranglemania.
Oh, nice.
That sounds incredible.
Yeah.
They beat Buffalo, and then they beat Arizona State, which is the number 13 team in the country.
That boy.
Most importantly, it was Wranglemania.
Yeah.
And also getting some wrestling-style revenge. Volleyball goes to Wake Forest. They had dropped the reverse sweep to the Deacs the week before. They did it to the Deacs on Friday.
Really?
Carolina loses the first 2 sets, comes back and wins the next 3. Take that.
So at that point, Wake had won 5 consecutive sets against the Tar Heels, and Carolina flipped the script on them.
And Mike Shaw said, guys, we're going to Dewey's.
Let's celebrate at Dewey's.
We're already in Winston-Salem. Let's do it.